On May 24, 2022, a mass shooting occurred at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas, United States, where 18-year-old Salvador Ramos, a former student at the school, fatally shot 19 students and 2 teachers, and wounded 17 others. Earlier in the day, he shot his grandmother in the face at home, severely wounding her. He fired shots for approximately 5 minutes outside the school, before entering unobstructed with an AR-15 style rifle through an unlocked side entrance door. He then shut himself inside 2 adjoining classrooms, without locking the classroom door, killed the victims, and remained in the school for more than an hour before members of the United States Border Patrol Tactical Unit fatally shot him after they bypassed numerous local and state officers who had been in the school's hallways for over an hour. The shooting is the 3rd deadliest school shooting in the United States, after the Virginia Tech shooting in 2007 and the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting in 2012, and the deadliest in Texas. Police officers waited 74 minutes on site before breaching the classroom to engage Ramos. Police also cordoned off the school grounds, resulting in violent conflicts between police and civilians, including parents, who were attempting to enter the school to rescue children. As a consequence, law enforcement officials in Uvalde have been heavily criticized for their response to the shooting, and their conduct is being reviewed in separate investigations by the Texas Ranger Division and the United States Department of Justice. Texas Department of Public Safety officials laid much of the responsibility for the police response on Uvalde Consolidated Independent School District Police Department Chief Pedro Arredondo, who they identified as the incident commander. Arredondo refuted the characterization of his role as incident commander, but was later fired by the Uvalde School Board for his actions during the shooting. A report conducted by the Texas House of Representatives Investigative Committee attributed the fault more widely to systemic failures and egregious poor decision-making by many authorities. The report said, at Robb Elementary, law enforcement responders failed to adhere to their active shooter training, and they failed to prioritize saving the lives of innocent victims over their own safety. There was an unacceptably long period of time before officers breached the classroom, neutralized the attacker, and began rescue efforts. Shortly after the shooting, local and state officials gave inaccurate reports of the timeline of events and exaggerated police actions. The Texas Department of Public Safety acknowledged that it was an error for law enforcement to delay an assault on Ramos' position in the student-filled classrooms, attributing this to the school district police chief's assessment of the situation as one with a barricaded subject instead of an active shooter. Law enforcement was also aware there were injured individuals in the school before they made their entrance. Following the shooting, which occurred 10 days after the 2022 Buffalo shooting, wider discussions ensued about American gun culture and violence, gridlock in politics, and law enforcement's failure to halt or intervene during the attack. Around a month after the shooting, Congress passed the bipartisan Safer Communities Act and President Biden signed the bill into law. It was the most significant federal gun reform legislation since the federal assault weapons ban of 1994. Robb Elementary was closed permanently following the shooting and will be demolished and rebuilt. Premise: a documentary crew is recording the lives of teachers working in underfunded, mismanaged schools. One of the places they have decided to document is Philadelphia's Willard R. Abbott Elementary School, a predominantly black Philadelphia public school. Conditions at the school are harsh and most teachers do not last more than 2 years. Second-grade teacher Janine Teagues and history teacher Jacob Hill are 2 of 3 teachers in a group of 20 to make it past 1 year. They work with experienced kindergarten teacher Barbara Howard, second-grade teacher Melissa Scamenti, tone-deaf school principal Ava Coleman, and recent substitute hire Gregory Eddy. Cast and characters: Maine. Quinta Brunson as Janine Teagues, an optimistic second-grade teacher who has a mission to help the lives of her students while also managing her own personal life. Tyler James Williams as Gregory Eddy, a substitute, later full-time, a first-grade teacher who harbors a crush on Janine. Gregory originally applied to be the school's principal and is upset with an unqualified Ava for taking the job he worked hard to obtain. Janelle James as Ava Coleman, the school's inept principal who enjoys picking on and bullying her coworkers, specifically Janine. She also harbors an attraction to Gregory, which she does not hide. It is revealed that Ava obtained her job as principal after blackmailing the superintendent. Lisa Ann Walter as Melissa Scamenti, a second-grade teacher with questionable connections. Chris Perfetti as Jacob Hill, an awkward history teacher who supports Janine and her mission. Cheryl Lee Ralph as Barbara Howard, an old-school kindergarten teacher whom Janine looks up to. She is wary of new technology and prefers to teach the way she has for her entire career. William Stanford Davis as Mr. Johnson, the school's eccentric, but surprisingly talented, custodian. Recurring. Zach Fox as Tarek Temple, Janine's ex-boyfriend who is an aspiring rapper. Reggie Hayes as Denzel Collins, the school's superintendent who, at first, is blackmailed by Ava to keep her job because she caught him cheating on his wife. Iana Hawley as Taylor Howard, Barbara's daughter who briefly dates Gregory. Larry Owens as Zach, Jacob's boyfriend. Nakia Gamby Turner and Reggie Conquest as Shanae and Devin, cafeteria workers at the school. Nate Jones as Amber, the parent of a student in Gregory, later Janine's class who brings her son into school late. She also takes a liking to Gregory, flirting with him on numerous occasions. Ambrit Milhouse as Allie Williams, a teacher who has worked at Abbott for 9 years. Lauren Weedman as Kristen Marie, Melissa's estranged sister who works at a rival school. Kayla Monterroso Mejia as Ashley Garcia, an easily distracted teacher's aide that is sent to Abbott to help Melissa with her combined 2nd and 3rd grade classes. Courtney Taylor as Erica, a friend of Janine from her relationship with Tarek who is the aunt of a student. Guest. Kate Peterman as Tina Schwartz, an overwhelmed teacher who is fired for physically attacking a student. She is later hired at a rival school, which is more pristine than Abbott. Jim Gardner as himself, a news anchor on ABC Channel 6 Action News, beloved by the staff. Brian Scolaro as Vinny, a friend of Melissa who is a criminal. Bruno Amato as Gary, the vending machine stalker who Melissa is attracted to. Leela Hoffmeister as Courtney Pierce, a student of Melissa who is troublesome for Janine when transferred to her class. Richard Brooks as Gerald, Barbara's husband. Sheila Shaw as Mrs. Temple, a teacher who retires from Abbott. Mitra Chowdhury as Sehar, Janine's friend who briefly works at Abbott as a volunteer art teacher. Orlando Jones as Martin Eddy, Gregory's unsupportive father. Gritty as himself, the mascot of the Philadelphia Flyers who Janine hires for a school mixer. Zach Evans, Maze Klompus, and James III as Tyrone, Megan and Harold, members of a dance troupe that visit Abbott. Leslie Odom Jr. as Dreamond Winding, the owner of Legendary Charters who plans to make Abbott a charter school. Episodes. Series Overview. Season 1. Season 2. Production. Background. The fictional school of Abbott Elementary is named after Joyce Abbott, one of Brunson's elementary school teachers. Development. On September 3, 2020, an untitled workplace comedy pilot starring Brunson landed a pilot commitment at ABC. In February 2021, ABC gave the project an official pilot order, originally with the title of Harrity Elementary. In May, the project was given a series order. Filming for the first season began on August 16, 2021, in Los Angeles, California, and concluded on November 5, 2021. In August, 3 crew members tested positive for COVID-19 but production was not impacted. The first season premiered on December 7, 2021, and concluded on April 12, 2022, consisting of 13 episodes. On March 14, 2022, the series was renewed for a second season. According to a tweet made by Quinta Brunson, the first day of filming for the second season began on July 18, 2022. On July 21, 2022, ABC ordered the second season of 22 episodes, giving it a full season order. Casting. In March 2021, Tyler James Williams, Janelle James, Lisa Ann Walter, Chris Perfetti, and Cheryl Lee Ralph were announced to star in the series alongside Brunson. In November of the same year, William Stanford Davis was confirmed to recur as Mr. Johnson, the janitor. On July 20, 2022, it was announced that Davis would be promoted to series regular for the second season. Music. The series does not use any original music or score written or recorded for it, instead using pre-existing or library music, often used as diegetic music, often performed live by cast members. The previously released song, Hold 'Em, performed by Maker, was used as its main title theme. Release. In the US, the show airs on ABC. In Australia and New Zealand the show was first released on Disney and under the Star Content Hub on February 16 as a Star original with a 6-episode premiere with new episodes weekly before airing in several countries in Europe such as UK, France, Italy, and Germany. In Canada, the series airs on Global, with episodes available to stream on the Global TV app the next day. Season 1 is currently available to stream on Disney and under the Star Content Hub. Reception. Critical response. On Rotten Tomatoes, the first season holds an approval rating of 98% with an average rating of 8.3 out of 10, based on 45 reviews. The site's critical consensus said, Abbott Elementary earns top marks for its empathetic yet side-splitting critique of the U.S. education system, plus some extra credit for a deftly handled will they won't they dynamic. Metacritic, which uses a weighted average, assigned a score of 80 out of 100 based on 16 critics, indicating generally favorable reviews. Ng Han of The Hollywood Reporter said works well enough to deliver a consistent good time, and I suspect that given time, Abbott Elementary could blossom into something truly special. Han also said the first episode's a willingness to deal with class head-on, while also finding humor in the characters' situations, and concluded that Abbott Elementary is crowd-pleasing. On Rotten Tomatoes, the second season has received an approval rating of 100% with an average rating of 9 out of 10, based on 11 reviews. The site's critical consensus reads, Class is back in session and the plucky teachers of Abbott Elementary remain an absolute delight, with creator/star Quinta Brunson's savvy and sweet sensibility honed to perfection. Meanwhile, Metacritic has reported an average rating of 90 out of 100, based on 8 reviews, indicating universal acclaim. Ratings. Including viewership recorded over a 35-day period through linear and digital platforms after its original broadcast, the pilot episode on December 7, 2021, increased to a 2.4 demographic rating, with 7.1 million viewers. ABC said the 300% increase was its largest percentage growth for any new comedy premiere. The viewership of the second episode, Light Bulb, increased by 5.6 million viewers to 9 million after 35 days. Season 1. Season 2.